Hello and welcome to my YouTube channel. Regular viewers will know that I review many photographic, audio and video related products. Well, today we're taking a look at yet another Fuji camera. I laugh because I've got lots of them. Today we're taking hopefully a brief look at the Fujifilm X70, and here is the little beauty. Now this camera really is very similar to two other different manufacturers' cameras that are competing, or anyway, this isn't made anymore, but they were competing in the same sector of the market, which is basically the Ricoh GRii, which I've owned for several months now. The rather nice little Ricoh GRii, and the Nikon Coolpix A, which actually isn't my camera. I'm not a big Nikon fan. The Nikon Coolpix A, which is, as well, you can see they're all much of a muchness. All these three cameras are all very similar in size, very similar in specs. They've all got 28mm lens, 16 megapixel sensors, APS-C sensors, etc. So I will be doing a comparison between the three of them with a video coming up, and I've taken some photographs with all three, and yeah, they're all much of a muchness. But am I biased? Maybe, but I do prefer, and a friend of mine who's a photographer prefers the images that come off of Fuji. I mean, whether that's because I'm biased towards Fuji or whether that is because it is what it is, I really don't know. I wasn't incredibly impressed with the images off of Nikon, but that's not to say they were bad. I just felt that the Fuji had the edge. So anyway, but I will be doing a comparison between the handling and the image quality of all three of them. The little Fuji though, nice weight, not too heavy, fits in my jacket pocket very nicely, beautifully made, as with the other two are as well actually, the Nikon and the Ricoh. And I love the handling. The grip is where I would like it to be, and I'm not accidentally knocking all the other buttons. That's something that I found a big issue with the Ricoh, and I really love taking this out because it does handle so well. And the other thing that the Fuji's got that the other two haven't got is a tilty-wilty screen, and that's great. I'm not really into selfies and into vlogging, but you can do selfies quite easily with it because of a tilty-wilty screen. You know, it's easy to get to the focus button. Face detect autofocus is excellent on it. Yeah, very responsive, very accurate. And there we go. So the tilty-wilty screen is useful. I find it useful for doing low down shots, and also shots if you want to do anything above, you know, somebody's head. So for me, I would say that is actually the biggest selling point over above all three of them, because the other two have got a fixed monitor on the back of the camera, and I would say that swings it for me, even if the image quality wasn't better, but it is, I think. Now on the top plate you've got your traditional sort of Fuji-esque settings really. So you've got your exposure compensation as a proper wheel. You've got your shutter speed selection here, which is great, and you've got your auto manual. Well, I say auto manual switch. What this switch does, if you're you know, obviously you're a photographer, you understand the concept of shutter speeds, apertures, ISO, etc., and you will set what you think is right for the scene that you're taking. And that's great. But if you're handing it to somebody else, you want you know, you want them to take some photographs, maybe photographs of you or whatever, and they haven't got a clue. It's really nifty because you can switch it to auto, and that's the camera then handles everything. And I really like that feature. I was surprised how often I use that. When I gave this to my fiancée Mandy, she loves taking photographs, but she's not a techno freak like I am, or geek. Did I say freak? Maybe I am a freak, I don't know. I bet a lot of you think I am. And it's great that you can actually set it to auto. And you know, great little feature. I don't think the Nikon hasn't got it. The Ricoh hasn't got that feature. To me, that is useful. Touchscreen as well, but these two don't have that. Not a major feature, but great for when you're reviewing images to be able to just spin through them like that is, I think, very handy. I've used that a lot. You can spin through the images, and then you can double click on it. I think. Maybe that don't work. Maybe you do have to zoom in, but that is great to being able to spin through the images, and also picking your focus point when you've got that turned on, of course. That's actually set to take the photograph at the same time. With the touchscreen, you can set it for different settings. I'm not terribly keen on the way Fuji have implemented the touchscreen, not just on this camera, but on their entire range of cameras, even the latest ones, the X-T3 and the X-H1. I'm not, and maybe I'm old-fashioned, I'm struggling to really get around the whole concept of how it works, but it does work. I've set this joypad up for selecting my focus point. You can see that works. That works really, really well. So you can set your focus point where you want the focus point to be, and it's got various other function buttons, menu buttons. They've still got their quick menu button. So you see that you can push Q there, and it brings up the different functions that you can set there, which is great. Image quality is outstanding. Actually, the image quality from this equally matches the image quality from, say, the I haven't got it here, the 18 to 55mm lens on the X-T3. Let's say, where is it? This one. This is the 18 to 55 XF lens that fits all the X mount cameras, not just the X-T3, all of them. And if you've got that set to 18, between 18 and 28 or whatever, this produces exceptional image quality, and detail and sharpness, and the colour science of Fuji's is great. Handling is excellent. Really love the handling on that. And it's got a tiny little thumb grip, which I'm really, really pleased with. It's good. It has you've got your autofocus manual switch here. The only thing which is a little bit odd, not a deal breaker, but a little bit odd, when you switch it to auto, if you've got it in, say, JPEG and RAW mode, as you can see on the, you won't see, but on the top here it's saying I'm shooting in JPEG and RAW. When I switch it to auto, it knocks out the RAW. It will only do JPEG. Bit odd, but not a deal breaker, just a bit odd, I thought. And so I'm not terribly concerned about that, but just, seems a bit odd. And it might be worth pointing out to those of you that, would like to shoot in RAW in auto. You can't. It does shoot video, and the actual quality from it is pretty reasonable. It's HD. It's not going to blow your pants off, but it's not bad. And it has got a hot shoe, so you can actually put a microphone on here, and you can plug the microphone into the mic port. But there is a caveat to it, that this mic port that you see here on the side here, I don't know if you can, but you see that is only a 2.5mm mic port. It's not 3.5. So when you get a microphone, you are going to need to adapt it, which is one I made earlier. So if we stick this on, now that I found it, that will fit onto the hot shoe, like so, and that will plug into there via this adapter, and there you have a really compact video camera, and it is really good. As I say, the quality is only HD, but it's fine, But if you want to use it as a vlogging camera, which I would think would be great, you put the screen up. Oh dear. Oh, right. where am I? You can't see what you're doing, and the screen doesn't go all the way up either. So unfortunately, Fuji and many other manufacturers are guilty of it. It's not only Fuji. The concept of it is great, but the practicalities of it are not. So that is a fail there, Fuji. You could get a mount. Obviously, you could get a bracket, I mean, and put the microphone off to one side, but that just increases more bulk. Why don't you buy a bigger camera anyway if you're going to do that? So, but it is there. The mic port is there, and it does work, and I have tested it, and it's fine. But I don't really use it for video. I just love this as a great out and about camera. If I'm taking my X-H1 or my X-T3, I put this in my jacket pocket just for the wide angle shots, It is, obviously, I say it's a constant aperture. It is constant because there is no zoom range. It is a fixed lens. So you are fixed to that 28mm setting. But because it's APS-C, you've got the flexibility there to be able to crop in. You can crop in quite a bit. See, that's lovely and sharp. And it's still bringing, it's still bringing the image out. It's got that bokeh. Not a lot, but it has got bokeh. And that's, tremendous. Now, around the actual collar of the lens, you've got your aperture ring, which is brilliant. It's not dialed in with menus or whatever. It literally is turn this style. And you've got A for auto if you want to, as I do quite often, just leave it in auto. The only minor thing is that it's sometimes awkward to get to this, the way they've designed these two, I don't know if you can see these two collars that you grab. Sometimes it can be a bit awkward to grab hold of them, but I'm nitpicking. I really am nitpicking. It's a compact camera, for heaven's sake. As I've said to many people, there's got to be compromises. When you go compact, there's got to be compromises. If you bought a little mini or a little sports car, you're not going to be able to get a huge amount of luggage in the boots. You're not going to expect a big boot, are you? Or are you? I honestly don't know. Whenever you go small, there'll be compromises, but I will point that out anyway. It's a little bit small, and it has got a control ring on the front. Now, I've set up the control ring on mine to control the ISO. Now, you can set it up to control pretty much whatever you like, but to me, to get access to the ISO quickly was what I felt was more important. So basically, you've got aperture ring around the collar of the lens, and you've got shutter speed around on the top dial, and ISO. The three exposure settings that a camera should have are very easy to get to if you're shooting manual. If you're shooting auto, just shove it all to auto. If you want shutter priority, shove that to auto, and then you can adjust your apertures. And if you want aperture priority, put that on manual and select the lens to auto. So I mean, shutter priority, and the lens will be on auto. Exposure compensations are drive command at the top here. So that selects whether you're taking stills. What we've got on here, still image. What does it say? Bracketing, panorama, etc., etc. So leave it on still image. And that's pretty much the Fuji X70. So it's a discontinued camera now, but still, I mean, it's still pretty much highly sought after. It's got built-in flash. There's no viewfinder, so just be wary of that. You are reliant on the monitor, but I found it pretty bright. I haven't found it, too bad at all. They've updated this one to the XF10, which I did buy, but I sold again because the autofocus I just felt hunted like hell. And it wasn't as comfortable to use as this one, and it didn't have a tilty-wilty screen. So the X70, is definitely, I think a step up from the XF10, apart from the sensor size. But there we go, that's just my opinion. As I say, I will be doing a comparison between the Nikon Coolpix A which is this one, and the Ricoh GR2. The lightest of all three of them is definitely the Ricoh GR2. No shadow of doubt about that. Just pick that up and notice that, how much lighter that is. And this is the bulkiest of the three of them, but not by, you know, a huge amount. So there we go. Oh yeah, one odd thing. I did buy the lens hood for it, lens hood for it. You know, it took me 40 minutes to work out how the friggin' hell does that fit on that. I couldn't fathom it out. I had to go on YouTube, yay, the wonders of YouTube, and realise that you have to unscrew this protector thing, little bit of, and then screw on the lens hood. He says, hang on, let's get this right. No, still not getting it. Oh, here we go. So that gives a nice, it looks really nice. That's for lens hood, but now you've got no way of getting the lens cap on because the lens cap don't fit. And it don't fit in my jacket now. Now, what annoys me is Fuji are brilliant at designing things, as so many manufacturers are, but couldn't they have just designed it as a bayonet fit? Or am I being, you know, petty? But if that had been, oh yeah, it comes in two parts as well, which is also not very helpful. Oh, does that lens hood fit on that? No, it will fit on that, but that's not really much help to man or beast, is it? Because it's not really a hood. But couldn't they have designed that as a bayonet? Surely you could have got a bayonet so you could just clip it on when you need it, take it off when you don't. So, and then this will get lost, because these little extras always do get lost or damaged or trodden on or whatever. So yeah, that's my gripe over for that. I've got a few other Fuji gripes as well. Maybe I'll do a Fuji gripe video, but I won't probably, because I just love the Fuji products. And that's that. So that's the Fuji X70 SD card slot, which you would have guessed anyway. Wouldn't expect anything else. Standard SD card slot there. Little battery. I found the battery lasts more than long enough for what I need it for. Shove a couple of spare ones in your pocket just to be sure they're cheap enough to buy. And yeah, you've got your focus switch there on the front, manual focus, continuous and single shot focus on the front there. Same as other Fuji cameras. Yeah, there we go. That's the Fuji X70. Thanks for watching this video. I do hope you find my channel of interest and you get some benefit from it. Please hit the subscribe button if you haven't already done so, and please hit the like button. I would very much like that. Means a lot to me. And thanks for watching, and stay tuned for more videos. Once again, thanks very much. Bye for now.